Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We've got another great show here for you today. Today we're going to talk about how to hack your mortgage, how to pay off your mortgage quicker. And, I know we talked about using the HELOC before, and a lot of people were like, we're just revolving money from one place to another. All right, well, these are actual tips and hacks that I use to pay off my mortgage quicker. I do use that method to some degree, as it allows me to revolve money differently. That's me though. Maybe it's not for you. So let's just talk about things you can do that are simple and effective that make a big difference. So number one is we can make bi-weekly payments. So if you're salaried and you get paid bi-weekly, that means that you get paid an extra time once every 6 months. So exactly what that is the same with the mortgage. So you're basically making one extra mortgage payment a year. And what does that do? So let's just go. I got the Government of Canada mortgage calculator here. And so I have a mortgage amount of, let's say, $400,000. So I'm buying a $500,000 house, 20% down. I have a 2.3% interest rate, a 25-year amortization, and I'm setting my payments at monthly. And boom. So my number of payments is 60. My total payment is $1,752. My principal payments on that are $62,800, and my interest are $42,000 over the course of those 5 years. My total cost is $105,000. So now we come back up here and we do a bi-weekly payment. Our number of payments is 130 again over the course of the loan. Basically, we're taking our mortgage and we're divided it into two, so $876. Our principal payments are $72,000, so we paid it off for an extra $9,000 on that loan, and our interest payments are $41,000 over the course of the loan. So your total cost is $113,000, yet again, you're paying off more of that mortgage, so over time, you're going to see it. I think they have a little thing here where your number of payments is going to be less. So basically you pay that off 4.5 years quicker than if you had just gone ahead and done a monthly mortgage payment on that. So bi-weekly payments, that's the first thing you should do. If you haven't done that, bi-weekly payments, they're called accelerated bi-weekly payments, and you'll just pay it off that much quicker. You'll be just over 20 years. So right there, you're saving 4.5 years, and over the course of the loan, and you can see the chart that we'll use here, and it saves you $10,000 of interest on a $400,000 loan. Great. So we're saving $10,000 over the course of the thing that we're not paying to the bank that we're making that payment. Now, obviously, number two is making a one-time payment on your loan. And obviously, this matters more if you do it at the beginning. The more you can pay in the first couple years, the more you're going to save at the end, right? Because your interest is obviously calculated on your principal amount. So you pay more interest at the beginning of your loan and less at the end. Because every month they're going to calculate the interest on that loan. And so where do you go ahead and find this extra money? If you're employed at a company and you get a bonus, this is a good thing to use as to pay down your mortgage. Or say a tax refund. Any found money that you find, that you get, use that to pay off your mortgage, to pay that down, because that's going to save you a heck of a lot more money in the long run. All right, so if you get, say, a bonus or a tax refund of $5,000 and you make that payment, then you go ahead and you put that down on your mortgage. And if you do it one time, it will, so one prepayment of $5,000 at the beginning of your loan will save you $3,300 in interest and pay off your mortgage 5 months sooner than if you had the same mortgage with no prepayment. That's by the end of that's over the course of your whole loan. And just in the 5 years, that $5,000 will save you $600 in interest than if you had the same mortgage with no prepayment. So over the course of everything, you got biweekly. So you're listening to everything biweekly accelerated. You do the one-time one-time payoff. You're going to save $14,000 more in interest. You haven't done the biweekly and no prepayments. All right, let's just say we can make that payment yearly because we know we're going to get our bonus, and we're going to go. So $5,000 each year, we're going to make that payment. Over the course of a 25-year amortization, you'll have made 449 accelerated biweekly payments. You guys can see it on the screen. I don't need to read it to you. So we'll have paid $400,000 in principal, $84,000 in interest. So at the end of our first 5-year term, we'll have a balance of $300,000. So at the end of the amortization period, with my yearly repayment of $5,000, we'll have saved $27,000 in interest, $27,500, and we'd paid it off 62 months sooner. So I screwed this up on the last one, so we can talk about it here. I was reading this wrong. So basically, that's my prepayment. So I pay it off 5 years sooner with my prepayment, plus I'm doing accelerated monthly, so I'm saving $14,000 with that. So it's a grand total of $41,000 in interest that I'm saving, and I'm going to pay it off. So it was 22.2 before. Now I'm paying that off in like 16 years. You know, and I know the guy, like for Canadians, like you can go, like Americans, you guys go on Dave Ramsey, you can play around on their website and figure out how to pay off your 30-year loan in 5 years. I mean, this is kind of the best we get, the government of Canada. Maybe I need to pay somebody to make a nice website for us too in Canada to pay it off, because, you know, this is kind of painful. Yet, you know, and so any found money, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about. Is number 3 mortgage hack is increase your income. So what does that mean? Every year you get a raise, typically with your work, right? 10%, whatever that is. Stick with your living expenses. Don't raise your, like, you know, I get 10% more, so I'm going to go on an extra vacation, or I'm going to go buy that new car, or I'm going to do whatever. I'm just going to eat out more. Whatever that is, use that extra income. Just put it directly onto your mortgage. So keep your living expenses the exact same. You take that extra income, put it on your mortgage to pay off your mortgage sooner. Even if you just put 10% extra in every month, that's going to pay off your mortgage that much quicker. This is a possibility for some people and not others, but rent out a portion of your property. So if you are watching any of my videos, I definitely recommend house hacking. So if you're house hacking, go ahead and use that rent, pay off more of your mortgage early, pay that down, and so you can just pay off that mortgage sooner. You can rent out a room. I mean, people are out there on Airbnb. It's probably not as big as it was before, obviously, with COVID. Maybe you don't want to lease out a room in your house to Airbnb while you're living there. Yet, you know, roommates, obviously a good idea still, and Airbnb will come back at some point. Which brings me to house hack number 4. You can go watch Graham Stephan. He can give you a list on how to do all these types of things, yet lower your expenses. What can you do to lower your expenses so you can go ahead and put that money into paying off your mortgage quicker? That's a simple one, guys. I'm not going to go with all your lower expenses, how to do that, yet there are tons of videos out there from Dave Ramsey, Graham Stephan about saving money. David Bach talks about the latte factor and how that works. You guys can go find all that information out. But yeah, I mean, if you're going out and getting a coffee a day from Starbucks, I don't even know what they cost now, what, $5, $10? And that's 5 days a week, 20 days a month. I mean, that's a couple $100 a month. If you go ahead and paid that couple $100 against your mortgage, then you're going to save, you're going to pay off your mortgage in 10 years. You're going to be, for that cost of a coffee, you can pay off your mortgage in 10 years using these tips and tricks that we're talking about, other hacks we're using today. Another way to find more money is credit card rewards. So a lot of people have, obviously, credit card rewards. I have an RBC Avion card that gives me rewards. And one of those rewards is I can use the points to actually pay off my mortgage quicker. I obviously used it for travel a lot more, and now that we're not traveling, maybe that's what I'm going to go ahead and do and just pay off my mortgage quicker with that credit card. Or you can get the ones that give you cash back, 2 to 5%, and you can go ahead and use those credit card rewards to pay off your mortgage quicker. Now, obviously, we don't want to carry a balance on the card because then they're charging us a higher interest rate. Yet, I use all my credit cards to pay all my monthly expenses. They automatically get paid from my credit card. My credit card automatically gets paid from my bank account. I kind of don't have to think about it. Now, obviously, do watch your card for any payments that come out that aren't approved or whatnot. Yet, this is one of the biggest hacks that I use to honestly make sure obviously everything's paid, yet to collect reward points while I'm paying my bills. Now, here's a hack. I mean, we've talked about a bit expenses and that type of thing is a household budget. If you budget for things like, say, groceries or eating out or entertainment, clothes, cars, that type of thing, if you actually have a budget line in there and you're like, okay, good, my groceries are going to cost me $500 a month, you're more likely to go out and figure out how to live within that budget, how to fit your needs within that budget, rather than just going out and going grocery shopping and just saying, oh, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good, and just throw in the cart and you have no idea. You're going to live, it's like anything. Anything will, all work expands to fill the time allowed. Same with your budget. You will spend what your budget allows and more, yet if you want to go ahead and pay off your mortgage quicker, then a household budget is definitely a good tool to use to be able to take that extra money and put that down on your mortgage quicker. So the bonus hack is do not refinance your property. When you refinance your property, you set it back to day one. The banks make the most amount of interest from you and they make the most amount of money from you when you refinance that property, because now you're paying the full interest on the full loan again, and every month you pay off that mortgage a little more, you're paying less and less interest to the bank. So again, do not refinance. You know, that's, the bank loves it when you do it, and I mean, I get it. As an investor, I actually don't mind paying interest to the bank because that lets me write it off and use capital somewhere else. Yet, when on my personal home, when I can't write off that interest, I don't like giving the bank extra money. All right, everyone, thanks so much for being here today. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Smash the dislike button if you don't like this video, twice for the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below. Let me know how you're paying off your mortgage quicker. And you guys aren't going to want to miss Friday's show. We have Sarah coming on. She's a real estate investor who's retired early. Like, I mean, I don't even know if she's 30 yet. Nah, she's 30 yet. Yet, she's going to come on and talk to us about how she did it and give us any tips and tricks to retire early through investment in real estate. So don't miss Friday. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.